Hello, my name's Fox. So today I'm at Fox. Merlin banged King Arthur's sister! I guess it technically depends on which interpretation of the Arthurian legends you go with, technically speaking. But, King Arthur... Yeah, come here. Get out of the way, Gungnir. King Arthur, owner and, wielder of Excalibur, which, yes, Excalibur, or Caliburn, technically, because it's the sword and stone, so technically it would be Caliburn, but, wielder of the sword and the stone, and then Excalibur and all this stuff, I love this. Oh, probably my favorite version of Excalibur. Caliburn. Okay, so just to go back, we continue where exactly that we left off last time. Melinda summoned a giant kraken that then comes and attacks the town. Everyone's having trouble fighting it, though. Blue Legolas gets grabbed and he just won't let go. Buff Aang soothes one eye, not all of the eyes, even though he said, I'm soothing the soul. And then it's only one eye that actually does it. I guess each eye is a different soul, I guess? I don't know. And then Copernicus gets stuck inside the creature for a second. And Melinda gets knocked out. Gets knocked out so hard, her past self felt it, I guess, because she then wakes up in the past, which it's like, oh, okay. Where she meets Tiny Melinda, which we do find out that Merlin is her dad, which I found that out kind of also by accident a little bit, because when I was watching it, I had the subtitles on, and at one point, Melinda blows up their well with magic. And it says, Merlin, Melinda! And I'm like, well, I know her dad is Merlin now. Which I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that, but alright. And pretty much, Emma tells Melinda, I'm your friend later. And she goes, oh, okay, well, let me help you get back to later. And Melinda takes Emma, baby Melinda takes Emma into Merlin's chamber and tries to send her back home, eventually messing with some kind of ancient artifact, which eventually summons a cleaning drone, which Merlin then has to send back, which the drone is I'm assuming it must be from the future. And then pretty much after that, actually, let me see. Do you actually see her get slapped? No. I don't think so. But Melinda pretty much then gets that's when we find out that her mom came, which also we find out Melinda tells Emma that I have magic, shows a little fireball, black fireball, goes, this is an ancient and very powerful magic. My daddy says I shouldn't ever use it, but I do anyways. Okay. But Emma and everyone is a little bit surprised when Melinda's mom comes in. Morgan Le Fay, a.k.a. in some Arthurian legends, not saying in the movie specifically it was his sister in that one, but in certain legends it was. In certain legends, is King Arthur's sister. Then again, Mordred also. Yeah, and also there's a whole. Wait a minute, is Melinda Mordred? But I hope not. No, because she's the daughter of Merlin and Morgan, not Morgan and King Arthur. Yeah, that's a thing. Or is it? It depends. I think it's either King Arthur's son or it's King Arthur's nephew. But pretty much Morgan is the one that eventually kills King Arthur. And King Arthur kills him. But also, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a really good thing about it, because I think I brought up before, like, Merlin, a little bit about Merlin's backstory, at least certain legends about Merlin, that Merlin is half demon. He's pretty much a failed antichrist. And I'm pretty sure, like, the legends I heard about, like, it's pretty much like what they almost kind of straight say, like, yeah, he was a failed version of trying to make the antichrist. But yeah, so Merlin, who's half human, half demon, specifically half incubus, or his dad was an incubus. And that's why just pinched myself. But that's why Merlin is such a powerful magic user. Morgan Le Fay, if I'm remembering this correctly, was taught by fairies or is a fairy. I can't entirely remember. But let's say she is part fairy. I guess she's only half sisters with the King Arthur, or it's that I can't remember exactly. I know Morgan Le Fay is like one of the main bad guys in Arthurian legend, and then eventually she also turns onto the good side at some point. But there is the whole thing where she pretty much, I think, tricks King Arthur and then has a kid with him and then raises that kid to then kill King Arthur. Or to take the throne, yeah, it's your throne. You should be wielding Excalibur and stuff like that. I don't actually know about the Excalibur one, but yeah. But, sorry. I just had breakfast. But yeah, so... like, Morgan having a powerful child also isn't very new, but also a half angel, a half demon, well, technically not even then, like, it depends, because certain really demon a lot of times is just a fallen angel in certain mythologies and stuff like that. So technically, she could technically be an angel. It's a half-part angel. But anyways, part demon, part fairy, part human. Yeah, I see why Morgan is extremely powerful. But, or Melinda, I'm sorry, why Melinda is very powerful. I've been meaning to say Melinda, yeah, anyways, for certain bits. Anyways, Melinda's very powerful. Mom pops up, sees her kid has magic, and she looks at Merlin and goes, also, I wonder, how long have you not been around, Mom? But anyways, Morgan sees that Melinda has magic, and she's like, looks at Merlin and goes, you lied, because you said she didn't have magic, and I need to take that. And Melinda goes, no, it's mine. And she's like, you have to give that to me. You can't have that. And no, Morgan tries to take it by force. Melinda fights back, which then awakens the power inside Melinda, which then not only grabs Morgan's magic and kind of breaks it, then leaps into Morgan, or pieces of it leaps into Morgan, starts messing, I guess, with her magic, and turns her into the snake. Into the fiery green creature, which, yeah, I called 100% that Morgan and Melinda were gonna have some kind of similar, not Morgan, the green fire creature and Melinda were gonna have some kind of connection. I saw that coming. And even then, there's even more stuff. I guess that also makes sense, because I think Morgan Le Fay also created the Green Knight, which is another Arthurian legend thing. Which the Green Knight, it was a very powerful knight. Was a knight who could not die, and there's a whole story with him and one of King Arthur's court. And I think there was a movie, but I'm not gonna hear if it's good or not. I want to see it. I heard it's good, but then I also heard it wasn't. So, yeah. But oh, wait a minute. There we go. But, yeah, so I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, whatever. But, yeah, so Melinda, I'm trying to think. But, yeah, so then she becomes that creature and then, disappears. I'm like, okay. Also, baby Melinda is, very much like that Popeyes characters and stuff like this. Weird twitch like that, stuff like that. I'm like, all right, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're making this character like straight old fashioned cartoon, like something you'd see out of Straight Popeye and all these things. I'm like, I love this animation. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, God, it looks like an old cartoon, but also obviously done with more modern technology. It's really, really good. Even stuff with like Sen, aka Buff Aang, when he floats around. Actually, let me see. There might actually no. But pretty much when he floats around at some points, like he's obviously not moving, but like you'll see his tie and all of his jacket just kind of moving and stuff, and like it's very like a lot of movement also, and it's like, huh. Like even like with characters that they didn't have to animate too much, they do animate like more to it. I'm like, that's interesting. But at least to me it is. But yeah, and also this also brings up more of a question of is Blue yeah, it's this one. Is Blue Legolas's sword Caliburn, aka Excalibur? Cause like I was thinking like, it's a powerful sword and all that stuff. But now knowing that Melinda has a connection to Arthurian legend other than, Merlin randomly popping up, there might be more there. That legitimately might be Excalibur, or a Caliburn. Like that would be badass. And then there's also things like that Merlin actually has a connection to the cosmic world that Sen, aka Buff Aang, has a connection to. He looks at Melinda and his eyes went that cosmic look. I'm like, interesting. That's okay. So Merlin might actually have, I would assume, maybe taught all of them their magics in a sense. Like obviously Melinda got her magic from her mom and dad, I'm assuming, which gives her this powerful demon magic. And then like he could have then had taught Sen how to tap into that cosmic, that spiritual world. And then he could have given Blue Legolas the Excalibur or a Caliburn. Like, it's interesting. It's actually very interesting. And then, obviously, the main bad guy is Morgan Le Fay, so there you go. Which, to move away from my favorite characters for a minute, let me not make sure I don't hit the power button with my sword. Melinda? No. The fox at one point when you see what's happening when the barrier gets broken by the Kraken in the last episode, that the fox gets hurt and kind of gets knocked down. She's like, what's gonna happen to me? Or something like that. And we also see later on that there's actually someone possessed and or cursed by Morgan Le Fay. It's like, I'm assuming like the fox lady is not the actual green snake or the green fire. I'm just gonna call it the green fire right now. The green fire. She is not the green fire. She is maybe an ambassador of it. Maybe she's just works for it, but I don't think she is it, because later on we actually see Winston, which it's kind of slowly dwindling that he might actually be connected to the green flame. But it looks like now he might be, now unintentionally, because him still in the middle of the ocean is trying to find his way back, finds a boat has a guy who does not want him on there and says, get the hell out of here. Winston leaves and goes, how dare he throw me off of his boat? I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Flips around, goes back, finds out he's a goddamn werewolf, gets bit, dude jumps on the board, throws away, moon opens, he's like, I'm turning a werewolf, and then, boom, and, now he's a werewolf, which, by God, do I want to know how is that gonna play out? And then, pretty much then, eventually, after Morgan becomes and then cut back. And like I was saying, that werewolf too, like you see like at one point where Winston is rowing away, in like his in the werewolf's eye, you see they're green. Like the guy, or when it was a guy, his eyes are glowing green. So I'm like, okay, green is connected with the green flame. He's probably cursed by the green flame, I guess, because I don't think that's the fox girl, and it doesn't look like it. But yeah, there's that. And then also Melinda, eventually after the whole events in the past happen, she wakes up in the future after Buff Aang actually does say like when he's trying to find Melinda, he's like, she's not here. And then, you know, she wakes up. And also it seems like Melinda is having more of a connection with Emma because she's able to see Emma in like mirrors and reflections now, able to talk to her directly. So like I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And so, like, it seems to be very much that it seems to be this Melinda is the original Melinda, but she has no memory of who she was. But with that being said, also, she still has Emma's personality. So it's like one part Melinda, one part Emma, and then, you know, subtract any memories, and that's what you got. It's pretty much like she's running on different hardware. She's the same person, she's the same program, all that stuff, just running on a different hardware, I guess. And that's why like she acts a little bit more like Emma, but isn't Emma, but is still Melinda, but isn't Melinda, or at least not the original one and stuff. So yeah, that's at least how I'm kind of interpreting it right now. And then I'm trying to think. And then Melinda actually goes Melinda White, because when the Kraken, spoilers, bigger spoilers, kills Copernicus. So I'm guessing this means Copernicus is like, this has to be their last reincarnation, I guess, because without Copernicus, unless Merlin pops back up with another one, or they're somehow able to rebuild Copernicus, which I do not think that'll happen. If Copernicus is dead and like they can't be revived or they can't fix him, then they can't reincarnate anymore, which means this is their last go. They have to end the green flame here and now. Like, this is the time and everything. Like, this is it. This is the final battle. There's always also still the question of whether or not Melinda going to the past is canon, or is that more like just a memory kind of thing? But then again, no, I think it has to actually have been a thing that happened. So Melinda is so there's a whole time travel thing there too. It's like, okay. So, but yeah, like it's getting really, yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, Melinda goes Melinda White, like she gets taken over by the flame again, but then like inside she's pure white, while the outside still has her black aura with claws that she uses to immediately just eviscerate this damn octopus, which I'm like, holy hell. And yeah, they did it. That was kind of the end of that. And then I'm trying to think, was there anything else at the end? But yeah, I think that was kind of it. Yeah, and then, you know, Melinda kills them all, and this guy, and yeah, like I think that's where it pretty much ends. It's like, oh shit. I think it might have ended with Winston. I can't remember, but yeah, like that's that. Like, oh god. So this show is ramping up hard. Like, holy shit. This show is ramping up. Like, it is really, 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 really damn good. Like, oh my god, I'm kind of excited. Like, and here's the thing too. This is like anyways, this is like very much like it's fast paced. It is a very fast paced show, but even with it being fast paced, it paces itself really well. Like, holy shit, it's only episode 5, and like I am drenched in this damn show. It's damn action packed, like badass show. Like, oh my god, is it so good? Like, legitimately. If for some reason you randomly jumped on this right now, go watch it. It's really good. I'm loving the stuff with Arthurian legend. I'm loving like the hints that were there from the beginning, where it's like, yeah, there's a green flame, and Melinda has like flame powers. There's some kind of connection there, and there is. And like again, like the question I'm wondering too is like the Fox girl, the Lady Fox, is that Melinda's mom, or is that someone else connected or tied to her in some way or cursed, like an emissary or stuff like that? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. And like Copernicus just dying immediately. It's like, what the hell? Like, he's one of the core four and he's dead now. Like, what? And like, is Winston gonna become a werewolf and like that's gonna be like he's gonna be a new part of the fourth? Like the four team? But also, like, it's kind of funny. Then, like, there's a whole little kind of love triangle going on, and it's another goddamn werewolf. Also, will him being a werewolf make him cooler? Because right now, I still don't like him. I'm interested to see what happens to him. But also, when he got bit, I'm like, haha, you're an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think of those watching. This is really good. I'm loving this show. Thanks for watching videos, and yeah, we will. See you later. Yeah, you gotta love Arthurian legend.